2020 could prove to be one of the best years to upgrade to a new system for many years on release of the RTX series of graphics card and the Ryzen 5000 CPUs. Of course we're going to get big Navi, but I don't think they'll beat the RTX 3000 series. And of course AMD has delivered on the CPUs. So in this video I'm going to configure my dream PC using the Scan Computers tool. It's going to be a 5950x 64GB RAM RTX 3080 monster PC that let's see if I can get for less than £3,000. Of course I'm going to adjust the prices on the scan to reflect that the AMD CPUs won't be available until the 5th of November, and it's currently the 15th of October, so I'm going to add the extra price on. I'm using Scan over overclockers because Scan is more flexible, i.e. overclockers tend to be limited. They give you less choice, for instance on the power supply and RAM configurations. So that's why I'm using Scan. Of course if you're self-building, it's going to turn out to be cheaper by about 5 to 8%, but getting it built by someone like Scan is that you get warranty on the whole system rather than components. So you're actually paying that 8% you're paying extra is for their time and expertise, which is worth it. You know, 8% is worth it on a 3000 system, so that you don't have to worry about wasting time checking any component or troubleshooting if something goes wrong. You know, things can go wrong. Okay, so let's get started. Let's see if I can get this system for £3,000, my dream PC that I will build or get built. Firstly, the case. I want a decent case, but not a stupidly expensive case. Yeah, the Corsair Carbide look okay. What's this one? No, I don't like that one. I want a fatter case. Fractal designs. See, the prices are already going up. I'm not interested. Oh, this one looks good. The Carbide A540. I don't want RGB. No, that is a good case. Look at that. That looks what looks like what a computer should look like. Yeah, inside's okay. It's big enough. Yeah, that will do good. Plenty of scope to add extra hard drives. So we got the ball rolling with the case, a good one, Corsair Carbide A540. So next we come to motherboards. I don't want the cheap tack motherboard, I want to be able to overclock. And we're going to it'll have to be a 570. F Gaming Strix, yeah, I'm gonna have to pay on a 570 motherboard. Already prices are starting to ramp up. Now we come to the CPU. Of course they haven't got the 5950x yet, so it's $690 for the 3950x, and the 5950x will be $750, so that's £60 more. So we're going to add up £70, £60 to this price for the actual price. Cooler, we want a decent cooler since we're going to overclock a little bit, 100 megahertz at least. On a 360mm, yep, go for this one. It should fit the case. Let's hope they install it properly. Now memory, 64GB RAM. I don't want RGB, I just want it to be fast. 3200 megahertz. Let's see. There we go, perfect. 64GB 32 megahertz. That's perfect. See, with the overclockers, they don't allow that configuration. They don't give you less choice. Okay, so we've got everything's going smoothly so far. I'm not interested in RGB. Graphics card. Now we come to the graphics card. Well, what I'm actually after is a 3070 Super, a 16GB, but they're not going to be available yet. So I will show the graphics card that we've got, and GeoForce. It's going to be 3080 then, isn't it? Yes, they got the Asus one. That's a good one. Let's select that. Asus 750. Ooh, price now jumps. Look at that. We're getting close to the £3,000 level. Well, it's already what, £70 above that, so 2710. So that's the graphics card selected. I don't want to pay for overclocking. I can do all that myself. Power supply. Oh, look at that. Rubbish power supply. Let's get at least a 1000 watt. You don't have to go overboard with this Corsair. This will do. Course, this 120 plus £170 power supply will do. 1000 watt. Getting close to 3000. What else? Storage drive. Where's the operating system drive? Okay, I don't want any hard drive. I'm going to port over. I'm going to get some new drives myself. Probably 6TB. Western Digital Blacks. So I don't want your Barracudas. Or operating system drive. Like I say, I want, if you're going to get them built, then they have to test it properly, so you need an operating system installed. So I'll put in a solid state drive, not selected one. Okay, so we'll choose a 1TB Samsung. Decent speed. Yeah, there we go, that's okay. 3500 read write. That should be okay. 191 TB. Like I say, I'm going to put in my own hard drives. Port over 4 for my existing computer, which are 4TB each. I'm going to get a new 6TB Western Digital Black. And I also got a 1TB Samsung that'll be putting over. Oh, what point wasting? Oh, look, we're virtually at £3,000 now. So what else do we need? I think that's everything. Story, no. Bring my own. I think that's it. Oh, operating system. Okay, so these are rip-off prices here. Your case doesn't support the Corsair Hydro. Oh, bugger. We're gonna have to make some changes here. I don't wanna. What's this one? Black with acrylic window, tempered glass. Go with this one. Going into slight problem. So let's go back. Let's look at the case they've selected. Pretty poor. Let's choose a different case. Fractal mesh. Oh, I liked the other case. Why couldn't they select it? This is I want this case. I'd rather change the. Let's go for a lower cooler. So we can't take 360 cooler. So let's try 240. Yeah, cooler selected. I don't want a 280. RGB Pro. I don't want a RGB. Right, let's see if this fits. Yep, looks like it. So 280mm will. Yes, a little less cooling, but it should be okay. Can always add extra fans. Okay, so that's the cooler selected. I'm keeping the existing. So I like that case. So what you're going to see is mainly the case. I like that case, the look of it. Everything else okay. Yep, we're good to go. Power supply, everything. And it's under £3,000. Well, oh yeah, let's go do the operating system. Yeah. Operating system, where are you? These are, like I say, rip-off prices. Windows Pro 64-bit. Look at that, £135. So you can get off eBay for £20 a license. But if you're paying £3,000, you want them to have operating system so they can do the burn-in test, make sure everything's working, temperatures. What else do I need? Nothing, no extra junk. Network adapter, now it's gonna be. Oh, don't need Wi-Fi. Yep, that's it. So I done £60, £2,966. That's what my 5950x RTX 3080 64GB RAM system would cost. Less than £3,000. Mission accomplished. I'm getting this system. I'm going to buy it from Scan. Obviously I'm going to have to now wait till the process has come out. We'll see how the prices change between now and say mid-November, early November when it's out. So by the end of November I should have my 5950x system, although I'm going to have to think about waiting for the 3070 Ti or Super, whatever they're going to call it. Is it Super or Ti? So I really want look, your GPU is not going to be bottleneck, your CPU will bottleneck, even a 5950x. So a 3070 is still more than powerful enough. I'd rather go with the extra memory than the extra CUDA cores. That's why my preference is for a 16GB card. I don't want to pay a daft price for a 20GB 3080, but 10GB is still phenomenally good. So the system, let us know if you need any specific requirements. Save and continue. What happened? I've added it to the basket. There we go, custom built. There's the spec. Asus ROG 5950X 2966, under £3,000. All of the specs are great. The only thing I would change is obviously the CPU is going to upgrade. That's that, it's 2966. Is get a 3070 Ti 16GB card, which should cost less than $750, maybe $650. They maybe sell it for $650. So overall, the price difference, if you're taking the 3070 Super, it should be around $2,900, same price as what's listed there, because the increased price for the 5950X should cancel out. This should cancel out. This is £60 more than what's listed here. Should be cancelled out if the 16GB 3070 is out by then. If not, then I'll go with the 3080. If I'm definitely be getting it around mid-November latest, depending on the stock situation, which I've heard AMD is gonna, Nvidia is gonna flood the market with cards on release of big Navi, just to make sure that there's plenty of stock for people to buy. They're gonna flood the market with 3070s and 3080s. So hopefully the 16GB card will be out by then, and which means I'll get this, which means this is the price I'll pay. Else I will get the 3080 and pay £60 more. So, but still under £3,000. In comparison, my existing system that I bought 6 years ago cost £2,400. So in inflation terms, I'm paying the same as I paid 6 years ago for a top of the range system. And in fact, yeah, this one was built by Scan Computers as well. My existing system was built by Scan Computers as well. 6 years ago in 2014, a 4790K 32 gig RAM, GTX 970 card. See, the 70 cards are perfectly fine. You don't have to go for 80 card, Nvidia 80 card. So the 3070 I know will be fine. Well, just that I want the extra memory with the Super. So that's the system I'm going to get on availability of the 5950X, which hopefully AMD should provide ample stock of by mid-November, which is the time I'll be getting it. So I'll get it long before Christmas. So in less than 1.5 months, I should have a 5950X system. That roughly cost me around £2,900. Well, less than £3,000.
And I want to show you using Cinebench R20 single thread. There are many ways to assess single thread performance, but Cinebench is a fast and easy tool that you can run at home. And it's one of the 25 workloads that we used to calculate the 19% improvement for Zen 3's instructions per cycle. As you can see, the 5900X is the first desktop processor to ever break a 600 score. We don't break it by a little, we break it by a lot, with a score of 631. We at AMD heard you loud and clear as you challenged us.
The Zen 3 launch has surprised all to the upside and is thus set to have an even more devastating impact on Intel's market share as AMD decidedly takes the gaming crown away from Intel's flagship 10900K processor.
So let's take that landmark core performance into a head-to-head battle. Across the same set of games you just saw, the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X is a clear winner at 1080p. As I promised you, AMD wins in Shadow of the Tomb Raider by +6 and is joined by many other games popular with reviewers and users like you. League of Legends and CSGO are once again standout victories for the Ryzen 9 5900X. So that was a lot of data very quickly. Let's take a step back. Let's recap. You saw an average uplift of 26% for Ryzen customers upgrading from the 3000 series to the 5000 series. You just watched AMD deliver the highest single-core performance in the entire desktop PC market. And you just saw AMD clearly offer the best performance of any gaming processor on the market.
Even worse for Intel is that it looks like all of the Zen 3 CPU SKUs will beat Intel's 10900K in single core benchmarking and thus most games if the Cinebench scores for the two processors launched pan out, i.e. the 5900X and the 5950X.
For those of you who want the very best processor in a desktop PC, we have the 16-core Ryzen 9 5950X. The 5950X is simply an amazing CPU. 16 cores, 32 threads, and our fastest processor with boost frequencies up to 4.9 gigahertz. The 5950X breaks the Cinebench R20 single-threaded record that Robert set just a few minutes ago with a score of 640. It is truly the best in class in every dimension. Best gaming performance meets best processor for content creation, and all of this still at 105 watts. Now let's take a look at some of the performance. If we look at the generational uplift from the 3950X to the 5950X, we see up to 27% more performance in CAD workloads and 12% more performance in rendering workloads. More impressively, we see up to 29% more gaming performance. And this is really how we bring the best of both worlds together. The best for gamers and the best for creators. And now, if you put 5950X against the top of the stack from the competition, we see that the 5950X provides up to 59% more creative performance in rendering workloads, double-digit wins in video editing and software compiling, and we also win in lightly threaded CAD work.
For instance, when comparing against my estimated Cinebench scores for the Zen 3 processors, then both the 5900X and the 5950X scores of 631 and 640 come in at 6.5% higher than my estimated single core benchmark scores. Thus, if this overperformance is replicated across the SKUs yet to be announced, then that would mean the lowest SKU, i.e. the 5300X, would have a Cinebench single core score of 603, which is well above the 10900K score of 544. Imagine that all of AMD Zen 3 5000 series processors from the 5300X upwards will beat Intel on the Cinebench single core scores, thus on average will beat Intel's flagship 10900K in gaming. And if that were not bad enough, then it's even possible that AMD's 8-core 5800X may beat Intel in multi-core processing, let alone what the 12 and 16-core processors will achieve. So far, AMD is beating expectations on single-core performance that leaves Intel way behind, several years behind, whilst we wait for the multi-core performance nail in Intel's coffin info that will just widen the lead AMD has in terms of productivity use. So my next PC system will definitely have an AMD 5950X CPU that will be likely coupled with the Nvidia RTX 3070 Super. Thank you AMD for beating expectations. Let's make sure that the multi-core beat or at least match expectations.